Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for attending to this presentation. My name is Henry Cáceres, and together with my colleague Oscar Centeno, we're bringing you today an interesting subject about implementing AIM 2.0 and beyond. And if that was not enough, data exchange is coming. So you might be wondering, what are you talking about? AIM, is there a 1.0 or a 3.0? I mean, I didn't know that there was a version 2.0. Probably some of you have heard of this transition from AIS to AIM with no version at all. But now we are proposing here something even beyond that, 2.0 and even more. And also, what about this data exchange? What are you talking about? We're talking about aeronautical aviation. But aeronautical aviation is well known by its AIP product, which is in paper. So you might be wondering, I mean, now you're talking about data exchange. How are things here? So this is what we are trying to bring you here today, and hopefully we will reach this objective. So probably you've heard about this, from AIS to AIM. And if we can summarize this in very few seconds, what we are talking is that we are moving from a provision of standardized products in paper, in AFTN and AMHS, to something completely different, which is data services. We're transforming this conventional product in paper, and we're moving to data services, where some new terms are now in the game, like SOA, WFS, WMS. These might seem like a very technical terms, but in fact they exist nowadays because everything is digitalized. So it was only now time for AIS also to transition from this conventional world into the digitalized one. So in order to understand this from AIS to AIM, we actually need to see what were these historical events that made this possible. So we can say, for instance, that we are moving actually from EAD to AIS to AIM to a new concept, a new term that now I know that nowadays is around, which is the SWIM, the System-Wide Information Management. But let's see that what we're proposing here is that everything had a beginning, and that started with the EAD. What is the EAD? Anyone knows what's the EAD? Yeah, you know there, the European AIS database. European, that was actually the first attempt to create a database, a European level, yeah, for organizing aeronautical information. So what happened is that back in 2003, we started with the EAD, where for the first time, a new model known as AIXM, AIXM is the term for Aeronautical Information Exchange Model, was implemented for the first time in a database with the intention of creating a database for Europe. Yeah. Then 3 years later, even actually here in Madrid, there was an important meeting where for the first time, the global AIM community, the AIS community at that time, because the term AIM did not exist, the global AIS community met here in Madrid, and they saw this new implementation of EAD, and they realized that that was actually what they wanted to follow. They wanted to digitalize, because in the EAD, for the first time, we had created this database. And a couple of years later, based on the conclusions and recommendation of this meeting, in 2009 is when ICAO finally decided, hey, yeah, we need to move to a new concept, a concept which is now the transformation of the conventional AIS into AIM. And then that was only the beginning, because later on, this same concept was implemented by ICAO in the ASBU methodology, in the Global Air Navigation Plan, and even to extend it to a higher level, which is what we know right now as SWIM. SWIM is nothing else than this same concept that we had at the beginning in the EAD, which is nothing else than the creation of a database and the exchange of data among all the different users. So SWIM is the same thing, but considering more data, not only the aeronautical information, but also meteorological information and flight information. So it's important to understand where we are coming, where we are and where we are going. Right now we can say that we are in this transition from AIS to AIM. So let's see, because this transition from AIS to AIM was only the beginning, and probably this is the one that you have heard, AIM without no number at all. But what we are proposing here is that we're coming from AIS, where we had a product-centric, meaning that we were really focused on the creation of the AAP in NOTAMs. And the first stage, in order to move to this digitalization, it's actually what we called AIM 1.0, or in other terms, data management, where for the first time we are implementing a database, and in this database we use it for the creation of our conventional products of the AAP in NOTAM. We use it for supporting us in the creation of these products. But we are not yet in the next level, which is actually the data-centric in AIM 2.0. And if you see AIM 2.0, it's actually not only to support the creation of our conventional products, but also to start really exchanging data as part of our aeronautical information. Not in this conventional form, like in paper or in AFTN, but more exchanging the data. We can also see and foresee that the future will bring some more challenges, and we can think about service integration in AIM 3.0, which will be nothing else than the aeronautical information together with the meteorological and the flight information in the swim environment. And finally, what not to talk about virtualization. So with this, we see that AIM, or this is where we are coming from AIS, and all the different stages that we're going to have for AIM. So one of the messages we're bringing you today is that data exchange is coming. We are right now in this transition from AIS to AIM 1.0, because many countries or many states or air navigation service providers, they have bought a system to support them in the creation of their conventional products as AIP and NOTAMs. But that is not enough. We need more. Users require actually to receive data. They need to consume that data and to present that data in the format that they want, not in a predefined format as given in the AAP or as given in the NOTAMs. So let's quickly see how is the information flow right now in AIS. We have the originators. They are actually the ones transmitting everything that happens at the originator side, like a runway closed, etc., to the AIS. Then the AIS, supported with the database, they transmit the same, they create the AIPs and the conventional aeronautical products, and they send it to the users. But since 2018, with this new amendment for ICAO for Annex 15, now we are also able to provide the users with data. And we're going to give them the data directly in what we call now as digital data sets. Yeah, that is already supported by ICAO, and the users will receive these digital data sets. Some parts of the AAP will be eliminated, and the users will start receiving data. So here we also see that data exchange is coming. But what about this part? Because the originators are still providing the information in conventional ways, like in fax, in NOTAMs, in phone calls. So it is also foreseen that this part will also be digitalized in the near future, meaning that probably this communication, conventional communication, will be further improved between the originators and the AISPs. And if you think about it, what about these conventional products? Will they still be needed in a digitalized world? Then who knows? Probably in the future we're going to have what we know now as an information flow. We're going to have now a fully completely data chain from the originator through the ASP to the users. So this is what we mean when data exchange is coming. So finally, a couple of things that we need to consider is that we need to focus on data. We need to start implementing databases, and we need to start implementing also procedures. But more important, we need to change our mentality towards data, because this is one of the most difficult problems that we have, because the staff is not yet prepared for dealing with data. So this is very important, and you can get through this with training, with sharing information and making awareness. Yeah? Because in the end, the data users will demand from us data and more data. So just to show you a bit what has been the history that we have in EAD. In EAD, we are proud to say that we are exchanging data since 2003. What for many is right now a dream, for us in EAD, it's a reality since 2003. Because for the first time in the EAD, we implemented data exchange among all the different European countries. So in the EAD, we had in the past different data providers communicating, but within the implementation of a centralized database and all of them providing the information to the same place, then the data user is now benefited by receiving this data. And with this, I give to my colleague. Yeah.
So thank you, Henry. Which is the role of Group EAD in all of this? Well, because as Henry has already mentioned, that we provide the service, EAD service, on behalf of Eurocontrol, and we manage the database since already 2003, so we are kind of experts. How can we help ANSPs and AISPs to develop and to go through this evolution from AIS to AM and then towards SWIM, and also adapt to the changes coming to the handling of the data? So we do have, since already many years, an exclusive AIM training academy, and we have provided many training courses to a lot of students around the world, more than 100 countries in the world. Of course, our main area of the work in this context is Europe, but as you can see, we also have provided training in many other areas in the world. We are very familiar with this. So normally, yes, we have provided to more than 100 also organizations and customers, and almost 10,000 students and trainees have participated in this. Initially, we provide training courses in a normal classroom. That was what we have been doing for a long time. We can offer the virtual possibilities, of course, now, not only due to the pandemic, but it was a normal evolution. And because sometimes different students or just trainees are in different parts of the world, we also need to combine and organize different possibilities. We also provide and organize seminars about our subjects, and our main trainings in the AM area is the evolution from AIS to AIM, and towards SWIM, AXM 5.1 basic and advanced courses, digital data sets, and the transition in the context of EAD in Europe, the transition to the static data database to a more static and dynamic data combined. We do have some AIM specialist program that it's combining this dynamic data specialist and digital AIM product specialist, as many other things. And we also can organize and provide some AIM consultancy. So we are happy to support whenever it is needed in all these transitions and on these evolutions from the data management. Transitions to AIM, as well some consultancy that we are somehow also currently providing to some EU members about the regulatory requirements of the European Union regarding AIM. We also have operational services of data migration and service desk, which is a very useful possibility because we are available 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can contact us. AIM Builder webinar series that we are organized, and you can find my colleague Henry providing these seminars and these webinars. I also support sometimes. Thank you. And why Group EAD? It's something that Henry has pointed out already. We are working 24 hours, 7 days a week, so we are always there. Someone is in Madrid, which is where we have a data operation center, or in Frankfurt as well, in Germany. So we do have 2 data operation centers, and we are always there for you. Since 2003, when we started working with the EAD database, we have been combining this operations side together with training. So which means we are a specialist on that side. The training we can offer normally is based on our experience in operations. So on that side, we work with, for example, AXM models. So we can work with 4.5, 5.1, and we are quite experienced on using this. This is why we have a very good combination and experience on both sides. We are a very multinational staff because we have more than 20 nationalities among us. So you can imagine, we speak English all the time, but we can even speak many other languages. And also we can provide training on other languages different from English or Spanish. So we can adapt quite quickly. So that's all. We live AIM, and this is what we always say, we really live AIM.